Okay, I was able to make so edeba a Ghana Politics Avenue. So I was yambonra a ye nsemu. OSP kisi eja being petitioner petition President Mahama say on fine removing on from office no. I was President Mahama ne sakan ene President Mahama as submit petition no e di Akroma Chief Justice Paul BaffoeBonnie and Paul BaffoeBonnie take quick action on petitioner President Mahama ede ebaye no na sisi ano Chief Justice Paul BaffoeBonnie obabe establish Prima Facie case against OSP ne petition no nature say omodia investigating within 30 days. Abusia within 30 days no Prima Facie case ye be establish as no Chief Justice Paul BaffoeBonnie what take quick action lawyer Martin Kpebu e de honsem bi ababetuja mom yenko na yenko nkuti ensma ekọ so unsubscribe ya subscribe, like, and share my Afro so answer into me and Kabi. Ghana Politics Avenue. So, and don't forget to click on the notification bell so that any update be able to drop once able to me aka.
At least 3 months after Gertrude Torkornoo was removed as Chief Justice, government has received 3 petitions seeking to remove Mr. Kisi Jabing as special prosecutor. There are also 7 petitions for the removal of Jane Mensah as chairperson of the Electoral Commission, together with her 2 deputies. And these petitions have been forwarded to Chief Justice Paul BaffoeBonnie. And thankfully, we have lawyer Martin Kpebu on the line with us. We're grateful for your time, sir. I know you're very busy this morning, but thanks all the same for joining us. And really, I'm curious, are you behind the petition for the removal of the SP? Mr. Kpebu, kindly unmute and speak to us.
Hello?
Great, I can hear you now.
Yes, okay, so my name is...
Yes.
I'm not behind those petitions.
Okay.
But what I'm doing is that I'm preparing mine. I'll file mine written by Wednesday. Yeah, so there's going to be another petition. Yeah, because I have some grounds. I believe my grounds will be different. If they happen to be the same, well, the cases may be consolidated. But we need to get Kisi Jabing out of the office. He's done too many bad things.
So your petition is specifically for the special prosecutor?
Absolutely, yes. Kisi Jabing is the one I want to have removed. Yeah.
All right, but is this normal that within 3 months of the removal of the Chief Justice, we have petitions seeking the removal of the Electoral Commissioner and her 2 deputies, and of course the SP as well? Is this really normal?
No, very, 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 very normal. Very normal. It just tells you that citizens have become very vigilant, right? And are engaged. So once citizens find that these duty bearers have breached the law, then citizens have the right to present the petitions. So it doesn't matter that you just had the removal of the Chief Justice. Indeed, even at the time that the Chief Justice removal proceedings were ongoing, we knew that there were petitions for the removal of Jane Mensah. Yeah. So it's always been there. Even Joy FM, you did some stories on those petitions where the petitioners complained that President Mahama hadn't forwarded the petitions, etc. So you did a story complaining that those petitions should have been forwarded. So it tells you that it's not as if the petitions were filed after the Chief Justice had been removed. No, some of them were filed whilst her process was ongoing. I would even be surprised if some were filed before her process started.
Well, we know of the Chief Justice, the processes, the procedures, which is aligned with Article 146. Is this the same for the removal of the Electoral Commissioner and her deputies, as well as the SP?
Yes, largely the same. So I say largely because, so let's say this, for the Electoral Commissioner and her deputies, yes, they are far more similar to the Chief Justice, so we'll take time and break it down. I'm just giving the summary. But for Kisi Jabing's zone, the difference is that the law has expanded the grounds for the removal. That's one. And then number 2, there are strict timelines. So maybe let's deal with Kisi Jabing's own, since that has a timeline. So under Section 15 of the Act 959, that's the Office of Special Prosecutor Act, when the petition is received, the president must forward it to the Chief Justice within 7 days. Yes, 7 days. So conveyor belt, the president has no discretion, just forward it to the Chief Justice within 7 days. And then when the Chief Justice receives it, the Chief Justice has 30 days to make a prima facie determination. You remember the one Akuffo did when Kpebu sought to remove Chief Justice Akuffo, and then Akuffo came out with a long written ruling which dismissed the petition. So now Chief Justice BaffoeBonnie will be working on the same within 30 days. So if at the end of it, if Chief Justice BaffoeBonnie's determination is that yes, there's a prima facie, in simple words, yes, there's a case for Kissie Jabin to answer, then within 14 days, they have to set up the committee like the Justice Puaman committees, the 5-member committees. At this time, when it is set up, it will have more judges on it. That's one other difference. To have more judges on it. And then they have 90 days, 3 months, 90 days to finish. So you see that this one is different because it has timelines all throughout the value chain. Yes, so that's it for Kissie Jabin. Right. So once the committee is set up, within 3 months, they must finish.
Okay.
Now, when it goes... Okay, let's go.
Now, the Ghana Union of Traders Association has a new president, Clement Boateng, has taken over from Joseph Obeng. He's here for a conversation with me. You're grateful for joining us in the studio. Welcome. How does it feel in your new position?
Yeah, good morning and thank you for having me. Well, it's a position that I cherish. I think I will taking over from my predecessor, Dr. Joseph Obeng, who performed creditably, and I must make sure that where he left GUTA, I'll be able, to continue, and then make sure that the welfare of the Ghanaian trader is taken into consideration.
The seat you occupy is quite a hot one because you're almost always caught up in issues with, local businesses pushing their grievances forward and ensuring that they have a fair and equitable, playing field, especially in the era where we have foreign retailers taking up this space. How are you intending to, treat or adjust to this kind of atmosphere in your new role?
Yes, like you rightly said, the seat is a very, very hot seat. I can tell you, GUTA receives an average of 3 letters a day, either coming from public organization or private organization or an engagement. And so the seat is very, very hot seat. Yes, regarding foreigners in retail trade, this has been an issue that GUTA has fought for so many years. And I can say with authority that without GUTA's involvement, the whole retail sector would have been taken over completely by foreigners. Even for all the fights that we have fought, they are still occupying a sizable place as far as retail business are concerned, and we are not relenting on our efforts. As I've taken over the seat, I am going to continue the fight. Even before I took over as the first vice president, we had some engagement with the new chief executive of Ghana Investment Promotion Authority, and at our last Congress that the election were held just last week, he was even there. After the Congress, I had an engagement with him, and then turned, to proceed from where we left. If I say where we left, over 1.5 years, a task force that was formed with the inclusion of a lot of state organizations, and if they had, continued the work from where they left off, I think the work, would have been done to some large extent. But because we were close into the election, the work was stopped, and after the election, the new government also had to put things in place regarding ministers and chief executives. So when this chief executive took over, we had engagement with him, and he has, drawn up a program which we are all, following to address this situation. And I am of a firm conviction that the process that we have started, if we are able to continue, this matter, will be put to rest.
Well, on the back of that, what will be your very first hard decision, and who will it upset in your position?
Well, what I intend, to do as my first engagement had to do with having an audience with the finance minister. If you could recall, in the presentation of the budget, I know he made mention about some reforms as far as the VAT regime is concerned, and that is one issue that GUTA, has raised a lot of concerns about it, because we think the VAT regime that pertained over the years, is not the best, and so we were calling for the VAT regime, to be reformed. So there was a proposal that we took to the minister prior to the budget. Then we raised the issue of having a one regime,
right,
as far as VAT is concerned, and we proposed a rate of between 6 to 7%, because in some jurisdiction that is what pertains there. But looking at the budget that the minister read, they have rather increased the VAT to 20%, because he said the previous regime was about 21%. If you add the GET fund of 2.5, the national health insurance of 2.5, and so the COVID levy of 1%, which makes about 6%, to the original regime of 15%, it gives you up to about 21%. But from 21 to 20%, we think there's cascading effect, which we had complained is still going to be there.
And this is in addition to those bringing in items, port charges and all of that.
Yes. And then he said they were also going to introduce a new tax system that we called a new modified tax system, which they are going to bring a threshold of between 200 and 750,000. So if your threshold or your annual turnover is between 200 and 750,000, then you will not be charging the 20% rate, but you will be in the new modified system. We have made a calculation, and we think if that is going to be the case, then all GUTA members are going to be charging the standard rate of 20%, which we think is not fair, and is still going to be the cascading effect. So my immediate priority is to engage, the minister, and then see how best I recall.
Have you made moves already?
Yes, I have had some chat with him, and he has promised to meet us somewhere within this week. So if we are able to meet him, we will articulate, our grievances and see how best it could be addressed. Another issue also had to do with the introduction of AI at the port,
right.
Because the government thinks there are a lot of leakages at the port, and government is not getting its right revenue. We are not opposing the introduction of the AI because we know it is going to facilitate trade and then also facilitate clearance of goods. But what we are saying is before the introduction of the AI, government promised to rationalize the duties at the port.
Right.
And so therefore, if there is going to be an introduction of the AI, then government must first, complete the implementation of the rationalization of the duties before the introduction of the AI, because we think currently ICOMS is at the port. ICOMS is providing, the platform, for GRA to come out with its needed duties. So ICOMS is not doing bad, but if you want to enhance, a government's revenue, we think the rationalization of the duties, must come into effect before the AI is implemented at the ports.
Right. And just before I let you go, my last question to you. From a year from now, how do you think traders will assess your performance?
Yes, I'm sure traders will have something better to say about me, because I will also, I'm going to, improve on what do we say? Capacity building. It's also one of my area that I am going to, improve upon. I'm going to engage, a lot of resource persons and tertiary institutions, to take us through capacity building, because the trading that we are doing today, we are moving away from the traditional trading to a more sophisticated trading, and in that aspect, we need a lot of capacity building to do that.
Operations, and we've been joined by William Kalechi. He's head of finance, State Housing Company. William, you're welcome to our desk.
Thank you.
And good to have you. First of all, who owes you and how much?
Okay, so we have customers who owe us for ground rent. We have people who owe us for lease renewals. We have people who owe us for regularization. Regularization here, I mean, some people have encroached on our properties. And then when our task force goes on the ground, when they go and see them, they have to come and regularize their documentation with us. And then people also come for consent to mortgage. They want to use their facility for loan or to mortgage or consent to gift. There are certain services that we provide, and people owe us for those services.
So really, how much is in arrears?
Oh, it's in excess of 50 million.
50 million cedis or dollars?
Oh, cedis.
Cedis.
Yes.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot, yes.
And you've not recovered any at all?
No, I mean, collection is a continuous process. So it's not like we've not recovered at all. We continue to recover our indebtedness from people every day. But this time around, we are trying to give an incentive to people, knowing that we are in the period where people are planning their budget for next year as well. And we know that accommodation and housing is a very critical aspect of our daily lives. So we are just offering a waiver, a relief, not a waiver, a relief for customers to be able to come and make good on their payments, so that their properties or their future can be secured in terms of where they are staying.
Right. And currently the country is having a housing deficit in excess of 1.8 million. I know you're supposed to be working to, bridge that gap. What have you done so far to ensure that this gap is diminished?
So far, we've been in engagement with our sector ministry. We are taking part in this district housing project. We are one of the institutions that is going to deliver on the district housing project by the government. We are also in talks with some of the banks to be able to offer mortgage to our customers, because funding is usually one of the key barriers to getting accommodation in Ghana. And so those are the things that we are doing. At the institutional level, we continue to engage some institutions in the civil service who want to provide accommodation for their staff as well. And so those are the things that we are doing. In the past, if you look at the delivery of housing, looking at 1.8 million and doing just about 100 houses a year, 150 houses a year, it's very, very insignificant. And so if you've listened to my MD over the last month, we have a strategic plan to be able to deliver at least 3,000 housing units in the next 3 years through these partnerships that we we are working on.
The Saglemi housing project intended to provide about 5,000 housing units. That project has stalled from government to government. Are there plans to revive it and complete it this year?
That's
to say about already about $200 million has been sunk into it.
Yes.
What's happening to that project?
On that project, state housing is not directly involved in that project, and so I believe the government is working on that aspect to be able to see how best it can be occupied as soon as possible. But when it comes to state housing, we are involved currently in the affordable housing project at Pukwase, where there are some issues that the ministry is trying to deal with in terms of providing horizontal infrastructure, that is drainage and the road network and all that. That is supposed to deliver about 1,600 units. That is what state housing, my MD and the board are actively working on.
Okay, I was winning and some also.
Well, the cost of housing,
Lawyer Martin,
which has always been a headache.
Or this are and some to the Amaya Sisiano. Paul BaffoeBonnie as Chief Justice no or what 30 days say or the be establish a Prima Facie case against Kisi Ejaben. Abusia we and some course better must say some Japan Kokotisa and some way at the MI Ghana Politics Avenue. So and don't forget to click on the notification bell so that any update be ever dropping on so on sa able to me Akebi. Better must say.